Happy Monday, everybody. How is it going? Just wanted to put another update out there on what I am working on right now as I continue my quest to see if I can squeeze 50 basis points a day out of a market making strategy in the crypto market. So, did some thinking over the weekend and kind of mulling over what my different options are for what I want to work on next. And initially, I was thinking of kind of like refining the um, sort of the regime detector, the danger zone detector. But I decided to go with actually creating a mock broker or a paper broker to be able to place the trades in rather than using this live account. And I decided to do this for a couple of different reasons. One is that I want to, first of all, test this strategy across a few different models simultaneously. So I want to be able to make some tweaks to it, run it in parallel with a different version of the model, and kind of see how they perform alongside each other in real time. So that's one thing. The other thing is I want to try testing this out on different assets as well. So not just Bitcoin, but I would like to try some lower liquidity coins, maybe where the spread's a bit wider and there might be a bit more opportunity there from a market making perspective. So that's another reason I wanted to set up a paper broker. And then the third reason is I want to test out different position sizing strategies as well. So right now, I'm just trading minimal position sizes since I'm in a live account, and it doesn't give me any sort of flexibility to like increase or decrease the size based on what's going on in the market. And so having a paper trade account or a broker is going to allow me to basically, fund the account with however much money I want, and then I can adjust the position sizes accordingly to what's going on in the market. So anyway, it took me a few hours. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, which ended up being a good thing. So I didn't spend as much time having to code it. I had to abstract a bunch of stuff out because everything was kind of coded around the Paradex API, and so I needed to basically abstract out all the broker related functions out of that. So placing orders, canceling orders, getting account updates. So things like that, I had to kind of create this abstraction layer for and put the paper broker functionality behind that. The other functionality, which I'm using Paradex for, is like real time quotes. So basically, the order book and pulling historical data. So pulling the open, high, low, close bars to build the indicators, that stuff was able to kind of stay as it was. And so the paper broker is making use of the Paradex order book behind the scenes to figure out if these orders are getting filled or not, the orders that are getting put out there. So the paper broker has much limited functionality and did not need to implement the entire array of Paradex functionality in their API. Basically, just what I am using, which is market orders, limit orders, cancel orders, and pulling account balance information out of there. So there's a few shortcomings. First of all, the paper broker assumes that it's always going to fill an order completely. So if I have a bid sitting out there, say, and like the best ask drops below that bid, I assume that my bid is filled completely, no partial fills. So that's one thing. So that might be an assumption that turns out to be very optimistic. We'll see. And then the other thing is funding. So with perpetual futures, right, you got funding either hourly or every 8 hours, however the broker handles it. I don't have any sort of functionality built in there to account for that. So with Bitcoin, the funding might be fairly minimal on some of these other coins, especially some of these shit coins. Like sometimes the funding can get a little crazy, but I don't have anything in there to account for that at the moment. But At least it's working. So let's just kind of see where things are at today. Today was a pretty choppy day, as was yesterday. This is the 5 minute chart. So if we zoom out here, should have been a great market making day, pretty much range bound. Um, Kind of moved in the opposite direction of the US market, which was interesting today. The US market was down quite a bit early on, and usually we've seen Bitcoin and the US market coupled with each other. But if we check out on the daily chart, so this is just the day that ended. This was Sunday. Both these days were pretty much range bound. Should have been awesome for market making, and then Saturday was quite a drop. So here's the results here the last few days. Saturday was down 1.34. It was kind of a rough day for the strategy. Sunday it picked up 35 basis points, and today it picked up 23. So not awesome, but not terrible either. I feel like the results overall are trending in the right direction, as far as the volatility with the strategy itself is getting dampened a bit. So that's definitely good news for sure. And we can take a look at the paper broker. So again, I don't want to like spend a ton of time creating a UI just yet for this paper broker. So I just have it basically spitting out the data, and I have the browser rendering the data. So let's refresh this here and kind of see where we're at. So we're seeing the best bid and ask in the order book, midpoint, our current position. So I basically have this trading 0.2 Bitcoin per lot. So basically every order it puts out there right now, it's going to be 0.2 Bitcoin. Account value that started at 100,000, and this has been trading for roughly 6 hours. So we're seeing a realized P&L of negative $13, unrealized of 10, total P&L of negative 3. And then these are commissions or rebates. So positive means these are rebates, basically. So basically, the strategy made $31 in rebates in the last 6 hours. So total P&L is $27. Not super amazing. Also considering the fact that it has traded through about $600,000 worth of volume during that time period. So quite a bit of churn there. Now, and then we have the number of open orders that are sitting out there, and then the number of executed orders. So we can take a look at the orders that are sitting out there right now. So this is a buy order at 82.62. So kind of getting close to hitting that buy limit, 82.874, 82.751, and then we have all the executed orders here. So had to make some tweaks to this paper broker today. I was kind of uncovering some bugs on it, but overall it seems to be working as expected, surprisingly. So I'm going to give this another day to run. If all looks good, I'm going to push this out to my production server, and I'm going to start using this rather than the Paradex live account that I've been using. And this is going to also allow me to run this on some other coins as well. So that's kind of going to be the first or the next iteration, is getting the paper broker out there with this version of Bitcoin, and then I might pick one or two other coins to also run this strategy on, just to see how it goes. So once that's all up and running, it'll be awesome. And then the next thing, as far as the strategy itself goes, is so I have had a number of suggestions from people. One is that I like is to really take incorporate volume more into this, because I'm not really using any sort of volume in the calculations for really anything related to this other than the order flow volume. So I'm going to take a look at that, see how I can maybe incorporate the volume into how I'm placing the bids and the asks. And then also the other thing that I want to do is the idea of the regime detection, and whether or not we're in this danger zone or not. But basically, kind of really define, okay, what are we going to set up as like an uptrend, a downtrend versus a range bound market, and really get conservative when the regime is in one of those trending when the regime is in one of those trending phases, getting super conservative. And so volume, I think, is going to be an important component of determining that. So that's going to be the next up on the list to as far as refinements to this strategy go. So, but overall, we've been humming along here, placing trades. There has been a couple of anomalies I've noticed with the strategy itself. Um, Either it's not getting notifications of fills or something else is going on, because it's not always refreshing its quotes when I'm expecting it to. So like, let's say right now it's long one unit basically. And if it were to go long another unit, I would expect it to put out another ask order out there to offset that. And there's been a couple times today where I noticed that didn't happen. So I need to do a little digging in to find out what exactly is going on there. So either the event isn't coming through on the WebSocket, or for some reason the algo isn't accounting for it if it does. So, but overall, things seem to have been running pretty smoothly. So yeah, we'll let this run another day in the live account, and hopefully at some point tomorrow I'll be up and running on the paper broker account, and we'll be testing this thing out on some more coins here. So anyway, hope you guys have an awesome week. If you got any other suggestions for me of things that you think I should look at, I'd love to hear about it. So drop me a comment on this video, and I'll take a look at it and get back to you. So have an awesome week, guys. See ya.